This open letter I wrote to my aunt and now ancestor, Janie Braxton, is one I have not anticipated so soon. But as my aunt would say, everything happens for a reason. We may not understand the reasoning in this moment, but I believe it is no coincidence that Prime Creator wanted her to return home in this time. So, I am grateful to have reconnected with such a person of integrity, honesty, and love before she was scheduled to transition. Dear Ancestor Janie Braxton, the first time I met you, you came to town to visit. My sisters and I lived with Granny, so we had the pleasure to spend some quality time with you. I was in the 8th grade then, and questioning how religion and science connects by interrogating both my pastor and my science teacher. Needless to say, I did not find the answers I was looking for, or I did not understand the answers presented because they did not feel right. From time to time, we would hear you chanting and gonging. I asked Grandma what you were doing, and she answered by saying you were a Buddhist. That raised even more questions for me. And at the time, I had no idea what a Buddhist was, except for knowing that Tina Turner became one, and one of my favorite movies of all time was Love Got to Do with It. I admired Angela Bassett, and I related to her character in the movie. A small country girl forced to move to a big city to escape daunting circumstances. Back then, all I could do was watch movies and dream, since no one around seemed to have time to help me realize my own. Despite that, during our first encounter, you mentioned to me about the universe and how we are all one. I cannot say verbatim our full conversation way back then. However, what stuck out the most and ultimately made me question and redevelop my own behavior later in life was when you spoke so surely of the law of cause and effect. I did not realize at that time, sitting at Granny's table in the kitchen as a teenager, how important of a role you would play in my life, and how maybe I manifested the story in which I religiously watched. Fast forward a few decades, I am at the lowest point in my life. No hopes, no passion, constantly and easily angered, bored, suffering from immense feelings of being useless, yet used, and worthless. Hence, out of the blue, you called and announced that you would be in town and wanted to meet up with the children and I was excited, yet apprehensive. I was a totally different version from what you may have remembered, or so I tried to convince myself, and you, a memory, and what others would say to justify your absence. What I gathered was you were chasing your dreams to become a household name performer, and I deeply admired you for that. Finally, someone in the family other than myself who's seen the beauty in performing arts and the importance of self-expressions. At least that's what I told myself. Except I did not have your courage. Before hanging up, we spoke briefly about the stages of life we were both in. Usually I would have tons of excuses to not engage, but you made it difficult for me not to. I felt safe. I felt safe enough to be vulnerable and transparent with you. To make a long story short, you advised me to fight for my life, to not give up on myself nor my dreams. You took action on my behalf and sent me to Chicago to attend a youth conference that will ultimately inspire and change my life for the better. You became my biggest cheerleader and supported my efforts in tremendous ways. Because of you, I have met some of the most amazing and loving people on the planet from all walks of life, whom to this day I still have relations. Because you seen me for not my obvious and present circumstances, but for my potential and the person I neglected to be. I no longer feel like I need to desensitize who I am in order to be powerful in this world. You showed me the true meaning of living on purpose, taking action, drawing closer to the Creator, how to find truth from within, and what being authentic looks like. What you did for me in these times, the times that we spent together, no one has been able to do for me in my entire life. Not to discredit all the wonderful people who have crossed my path and left their own imprints, but because your heart was so genuine and so pure, I was better able to receive and identify your crown. For this purpose, I honor you. I thank you for being who you were, brave, powerful, compassionate, authentic, passionate, nurturing, healing, giving, and possessing other great qualities. Thank you for the times we've spent together, for being a listening ear and being present in one of the most difficult times in my life. To conclude, thank you for pushing me to become the best version of myself, and undoubtedly I will continue to strive to be the inspiration that you were to me and make sure our bloodline and lineage continue to thrive in the arts and literature sector. May your life continuously be celebrated on both sides, and your soul is rejoicing in paradise. I love you. Ashe, Ancestor Janie Braxton. With sincere love, Dominique.
Journey's over. beyond the shadows, and I believe we'll find our way. Come with me, my darling. Watch the evening bloom. In your darkest moments I would give my strength to live, and I believe in a new tomorrow. I believe in a bright new day. Somewhere there's love beyond the shadows, and I believe we'll find our way. So take my hand, I'll lead us forward. All the hurt shall pass. Every day is brighter than the last. I never knew this feeling until I found you. Looking in your eyes tonight, dear, I know you feel it too. I believe in a new tomorrow. I believe in a bright new day. Somewhere there's light beyond the shadows, and I believe we'll find our way. Yes, I believe in a new tomorrow. I believe there's a bright new day. Somewhere there's love beyond the shadows. And though the road is long, together